Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. I'm starting this video off. This is another special piece for the Olivia journal. So I'm starting this one off showing you it partially done. In effect, it is only partially done, and you will see why in a minute. I think I'm going to be taking my sweater off because I catch myself on everything. So I guess we'll just kind of jump into this. This is getting kind of exciting. I'm really enjoying myself with doing these things. But anyway, so let me show you what we have here. We have a tag, and okay, we have a tag. Tag has a pocket down here, as you can see. Let me bring this up a little bit. You might be able to see if I don't know. Can you see the pearls? We have some pearls on the end. Turn it sideways. You can see them, and there's some pearls down here along the edge, and there's a pearl in here. Okay, so that's what we have in that. And if you just lift that up, I didn't glue that down, and you take that tag out, that journal card, you have this beautiful piece that is underneath that. In essence, another tag under the tag. And what makes it a tag under the tag isn't because of its back, it is because this actually opens and gives you journaling space in here. So the pocket is a tag, and this is where you would write. And then in the pocket, let me pick this up. I'm standing, so of course I don't have the right leverage. And then in the pocket, the tag goes in here. Now the other thing we have is there's two hidden tags in here as well. Let me put this back here just so that it stays the way it's supposed to. There is a tag in here. There is a pocket. And then there's a tag in here. Okay? And you can write on the back of both of these tags. So you have two pockets in here, like this, and like that. And then what we're going to do, because this is not finished yet, we're going to turn this over and we're going to work on the other side. So what you see on this side, you will have very similar on the other side. So for working sake, we'll remove these tags and we'll remove the lace. I just thought it was too pretty to leave on my board if I was going to show you that. Now we're going to move the lace over, but we will use it again later. So let me just put it up there. So, and this is a little floppy because it is just tea-dyed paper, but when you have the other tags inside of it, it's very, very stiff. So what we're going to do, I'm sitting again, is we are going to turn this over and we're going to work on this side. I already have the hole in here for the ribbon. I'm not putting an eyelet on it, and when we get to that point, I will show you why, because there's something else I came up with. So I have cut all the pieces that I need for this right here. Put them back in the clip. But before we get started on that, let me just move this to the side. I want to show you how we make it. So this is a piece of tea-dyed, whoops, upside down. I know you can't see the lines, but this is a piece of tea-dyed, oh, it's a bump in the paper, like a little bubble, paper. And all I did, you know this shrinks when you tea dye it. The paper will shrink down a little bit. So this was an 8.5 by 11. And it's a little shorter this way, and it was a little shorter this way. So if you do it with regular paper, it doesn't matter. These just happen to be my measurements. You can make it as big or as small as you want, just following the same premise. So what I did, because I can't do math and I can't divide 3 into 11 easily, I cut it down to 10.5 and I just divided it into 3s from there. So what I did You can get your scoreboard if you like. If this was my scoreboard, I scored it at 3.5 and 7. So that's a 3, each one of these panels is 3.5 inches, okay? So this is 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. All right? So then all you have to do then, I scored it here. I didn't score it on the scoreboard. I just scored it down here on the desk. So the score lines are very, very light. Okay, they're not very heavy. So you fold one in. It doesn't matter, left or right, doesn't matter, just as long as you fold the other one the opposite way. Sort of like one of those accordion things. I think I've got this pretty well where it belongs. Sometimes you have to play with it. As I recall, the one that I did over here that I just showed you, I just kept playing with it and playing with it, and I kept having a little lip left over. So I don't think I'm even down here, and I think that is what's causing my problem up here. It's a little bit better. So I think what I ultimately ended up doing was the part that hung over, I just went and just cut it off. So I just kind of play with it until it looks okay, and that doesn't look so bad. Now there's a couple of spots on this paper. I'm not sure where they came from, but for me it doesn't matter. It's the same spot, actually, just went through, because it's all going to get pretty much covered. Okay, so that's what you have. Then down here I measured up. So this piece, let me say it again, this is 10.5 by 8.5, which is probably a little shy of 8.5, but for the sake of nice even numbers, we'll call it 8.5. So here I measured up 1 3/4 inches from the bottom because I wanted my tag to be, it was about 6 3/4 inches. Okay, I think I wrote it someplace. I don't see it, but I think I did. I think I measured it and forgot to write it, but it comes out to be about 6 3/4 inches over here. So you just fold these pockets up, which I already scored if I can find the score line. Okay. Try to get it to stay even. All right, and then what I did was I cut out this middle panel. So I think this tutorial will be a little bit better. I prepared for this one. So hopefully this will be a little bit better. So I'm just going to cut from the fold line, this fold line, down that fold line. Okay. So do the same thing here. Okay. And then right across here, which once I get into the fold, I make a shadow and I can't see. So hopefully I won't be too far off. You can always trim it with scissors if I get it wrong, as long as I don't cut too much off. And you can save the scrap or you can throw it away, whatever it is you want to do. So now this one, let me just, well, I'm not going to erase it. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to fold it in the opposite side, okay? And then you do that, and that is what gives you, if I can hold it together, your 2 side pockets, okay? So then what I did, I didn't cut my things very even. Let's see. There we go. That's a little better. And if, like I said, if anything hangs over because you didn't cut right, quite straight, it's funny, I can see it from the other side, but I'm having trouble seeing it from this side. You just don't want to cut your folds, that's all. We're not going to be decorating this one. I just wanted to show you how it went together. So then what I did was I got my little template here, and I can't do it like most people. I have to actually just kind of put it down. And actually, I don't have to draw the line because I did the other one with scissors. But I can just cut along with my craft knife. Whoops. I really can. And take those corners off, flip it this way. Try to make that as even as I can. Okay. There we go, I think. I hope. And then I just cut a new corner on here because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, that's all right though. You can always make new ones. But what I do want to do is take that little curl that I now have off of there. If I can get my scissors to go where I want them to go. That's not too bad. All right, put that over there. You're gonna leave your pockets for a little while, but then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your glue. Oh, and I filled my glue bottle. So excited. You'll take your glue and you will glue from, let me make sure I'm in frame, glue from point to point like that. Okay, and just fold that one back down and then flip it over and glue. I'm working on the center panel, so that makes it easy to remember where you're putting your glue. Okay, because once you fold these going in the opposite direction, they're going to want to go that way, so you can't hopefully make a mistake and glue in the wrong place. Okay, so you do that one right like that. Then you're going to come across the bottom here. Okay, since you only need one line, and just glue across the bottom, just the bottom. Press that down. Okay, and then you're going to go to the next one. I'll probably use the art glitter glue on here. Flip that over and put this here. I'm hoping you can see. It's not really that hard, but you leave these, you don't glue these down until closer to the end. Okay, so now you've made your pockets like this. I don't want to tug too hard because the glue is still wet. Okay, so that is how you make the base. Okay, that makes the base. And so now I'm going to put this to the side and we're going to get started decorating the other side of this tag. So let me clean off my glue, find my ever elusive pin. Well, here's another one. It's awful. I always misplace them. Okay. All right. I've just got all my pieces all hooked together here, so hopefully I will remember what I did because I made this up again as I went along. And this isn't laying flat on the thing, only because, and you would wait to do what I did. Whoops, hang on a minute, I lost a little fella. Okay, I'm back. Let's just put these up here because they're going to go on as decoration. But the reason why it's not laying flat is because of the pearls, and I also have pearls here, here, and here, besides on the piece of lace, and then down here is the other pearls. I said I don't know if you can see them, but there they are. So that's why it's not laying flat. So the first thing I want to do, and I'm going to have to go back and put the hole in again, I just wanted to do that. I cut this piece to fit inside here, okay, and to go down into the pocket a little bit. You don't have to waste all of that paper. There's no point, okay? So that's what I did here, and I'm probably going to turn it this way because it'll be easier for me to see the edges. So we're going to glue this one down, and we are filming. Okay, so let's get this one filmed. Actually, I put numbers, well, a number on this one because the other side had 1 and 1. Because things are not always equal or perfectly even. And if you cut it on one, cut it for one side or something, and then you flip it over, like maybe these things aren't the same or something like that. Sort of like what I just did when I cut the template, because I was too close. I should have just done what I usually do, which is to just draw, trace that pencil line along the edge of the template, and then I just cut it with my scissors. It's usually what I do, so I will probably be redoing that and just go back to using my scissors. Okay, so we'll get this down as even as possible. And like I said, I like using this glue because it doesn't adhere instantly, and it gives me the chance to check and make sure all my edges are as even, I hope, as I'd like them to be. Gives me the opportunity to move that. So, because it's not flat, I'm going to be very careful with the piece of ribbon stuck to my finger. I'm going to be very careful with rubbing this down. I just want to go slowly. Like I said, if I was doing another one of these, now that I've kind of worked it out, I wouldn't have all the pearls, and I wouldn't even have all the lace on until I had the front and back, all the papers in place. Then you can go back and do the decorating. It's much smarter process. But like I said, I wanted to get the one side done to make sure that what I did worked and achieved what I wanted it to achieve. Okay, so we should be pretty good there. Okay. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. Oh my goodness. After all of that, let me peel this off. Excuse me. And I do have to be careful because this is one of those papers that I don't know where it came from. So it's in one of my kits that I bought. I'm gonna take a guess and say it could either be, it's one of 3, because there's a lot of designers will put background. I'm just trying to get off as much glue as I can just so that it won't stick, and to anything while I'm working on the rest of it. There's 3 designers that I generally use for background papers. That's not to say that I don't use others. Like Artie Mays has some beautiful background papers. This, for instance, is one I'm using. This is another project, and I've got it clipped together. Whoops, 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 whoops. So this is an Artie Mays paper right here. Okay, this pink one. There's a couple of other ones over here. Those are in her backgrounds, and she's just come out with taking like her background pages, and she put them into kits. Not just, I guess it's been a couple of months at least now. And she has them divided into like pinks and reds and purples, or whatever, stuff like that. So this is what we're going to do next. This is what we should have done to make this flap. Okay, that's what I should have done first. We're going to put this where we want it, and I want it to line up with the other side. Let me get. Okay. I'm trying to make sure that's pretty close. Ow. I've been getting these kind of hot pains in my hand going up this way, and my thumb has been giving me trouble, and we're looking into that too. Doctors are making a fortune off of me lately, but anyway, so that's about where I want it. Okay, So I'm going to take my pencil, and this isn't going to show. It's going to be a little lumpy because I'm going across glue here. And I'm going to draw the line, top and bottom, on the card. Okay? This is like the all-important piece here. All right. And then what we're going to do, and this would work better if it was flat, we're going to take this and put it where we want it, which would be, like I said, right about there. I'm doing it on the white side so that I can actually see where I put my pencil marks. All right. And I believe here's this one right there. And here is this one right there. Okay. And that, yep. This is where we're going to cut. Okay, we're going to cut this across. So I'm going to now, hopefully this won't stick to this, move that to the side. I'm going to put this on here. And like I said, this is how I measure it. I mean, I could do this with a ruler, but for some reason, sometimes it just doesn't come out right. And then I have to start over, which is very frustrating. So I lined it up with my lines, and I'm going to bring this straight across here. And I do it just, it's for me. If you're better with little, you know, just little dots, that's good. For me, I do it so that I'm sure I'm getting my line where it's supposed to be. I'm going to go here. I went in a little bit. I'm not too worried about that. And here. As long as I have these little darker ends, I'm okay. So let me get my little, put this in here, ruler, and I'm going to cut right on this line. Okay, I think that should be right. And that's my one piece. Turn this way. And cut here. All right, I hope that's okay. And that's the bottom piece. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure, if you don't have a directional piece, it's not a problem. But if you do, like I do, you want to make sure that you're putting your pieces so they're going to match. Okay, now I happen to have inked this, so that's not a problem. You just match it together where there is no ink. I'm going to take my sweater off. One, because I'm getting caught on things, but two, because I do not want to, I'm getting warm. So I'm going to move these pieces to the side. I'm going to take my top one. Now I'm going to glue. Okay, put my glue back on. Like so. And we're going to line this up with the line that we drew on the card. Okay. Go over a wee bit. That's better. Then this piece we're going to glue onto the flap, and then this piece is going to go onto the bottom and inside the pocket. So we just want to make sure that I just left a little room between the top of the pocket and the bottom of the flap. Okay, so we're going to glue this piece onto here, and with any amount of luck it should fit exactly. Let's hope. Let's hope. So we had a beautiful day here today, another warm day. I was out in just a long sweater. You know, I had my regular shirt on that I wear, you know, shirt and pants. Um, but I went out with just a long, like, cardigan sweater on and my gloves. And I did have my scarf on. But honestly, at the height of the day, it was not needed. And I was out because I had to, well, both my husband and I had to go get rid of some of this glue off my fingers. We had to go get blood work done. And then I had my appointment with the contact lens doctor to see about what they actually call a prosthetic contact lens, to try to see if we can get a contact lens that will block out the light that I still get in this eye. It's very strange and hard to explain to people that I can't see and yet I can register light. It's just very strange. I think really what it is it's not complete and total blackness. It's just extremely bad vision. So bad that I really can't see. If I put my hand up in front of my face and I move it and just close my eye, if there's light in the room or if I'm outside, I can see it. I can see the movement. I can't see my hand. I can see if something's light and dark. If something's close enough to my eyes and in my peripheral vision on the right side, I can distinguish what I believe is the color red. But I can't tell anything else. But it's just a tiny little sliver way to the outside of my eye. I'm just going to cut these, you know, little corners, no measurement. It is on the template, but I'm just doing it literally by eye. Ha! That was a bad joke, sorry. So, and like I said, this is the ink. I did it again. I keep calling my glue ink. I don't want to trim this. I'll probably end up trimming it. I want to see what it looks like first, because you really don't want any gap at all. And I'm putting this over the back like that's what I'm supposed to do, and it's not. You don't want to be able to see a white line. Okay, so, and it is really, really fine. And I don't want to ink, and I did start to ink this piece, and I shouldn't have. Because again, you really don't want to see it. So I think it's just because I didn't quite cut this bottom one straight or something. So I don't know if you could see what I'm doing. I'm just taking my little scissors here and I'm trying to get rid of this hair. I know, especially now, if I try to cut it with the knife, it's too soft. And I will just tear, you know, rip up the paper and stuff, and I don't want to do that. So that should be okay. I don't believe I cut this. I think I just cut that. And I think I have a wee bit more if I can grab it. It's literally a hair's width that I'm taking off. So I'm trying to be very careful because I have a hard time seeing what I'm doing. Okay, so this piece then, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and you may find that there's a purple pin in, there's a green pin in, I have a red one around here somewhere, a pink one, honestly. I'm going to use my art glitter glue for gluing this flap on. Okay. Only if it comes out. Oh, here's a green one. Let me clean this little nozzle. Got a little hunk of dry glue that came up out of that one. Try to get that off. Okay. I think I've got it. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this flap, or not. All right, let's try this again. I think after a while, I've been using this bottle for close to 2 years. So I think, whoa, I don't even know what that was. I don't know what to call that, but I think I cleaned it out. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to get some glue down on this flap. And that is, I keep turning because, like I said, if it's the same color and if it's in the same light, I have a problem seeing it. So we're going to, and I'm going to turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to line it up and butt it up against the matching piece of paper up here. I'm hoping you can see this. Okay. And then we're just going to press that down. And then we have our flap like so. Okay. Now, I didn't ink anywhere around in here. However, I will take this. I could have done it before. You could have done it before. And just sort of, I don't want to hit the edges on the outside. I just want to go in just a little bit. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to cover a lot of it. And we're going to do that part right now. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do the pocket. You know, the piece that goes down here. One, so that we don't lose it. And two, so that we don't lose our kind of train of thought here. This would be a lot easier if the paper wasn't curling and I didn't have glue on the paper already. So we're going to put glue down and then we're going to butt that up against the bottom of the pocket. And it looks, for most, pretty much, oh, you know what? I don't want to use that glue because it won't give me time. Wipe that off. Let me get this one. Get off my finger. There we go. We'll go back to using this. And this will allow me time to move it and make sure I've got it in the position I want it in. Okay, and we're going to make sure that the plain part is up at the top. And we're going to put it, try to keep the card down, well, the flap, I should say, down, because you don't want to go under it or over it. You know, you want it to look as natural as possible. Okay. Now there's no problem with gluing this pocket. So we will go ahead and glue the pocket. That's why we wanted to wait, so that we could get that piece down there. So let me put this in here. And then let me get this piece. Well, let's glue the pocket first. So we'll go right along here and right along here. And we can just close that up. And again, I push it in just a little bit. This should have been more flush, but again, not a problem. Okay, and then we're going to take this cover, you know, the cover, the front of the pocket. Erase my number 2. And this one didn't necessarily come off of the same place. So the question is, how do I want it to go on? I don't really like that. And this looks kind of crooked to me. Oh, now when I hold it up, it's really okay. I think it's all right. It might need just a little bit. I'm going to just trim this off the bottom a little bit. I'm on a bit of a slant, I think. I'm not sure it's the paper, you know, this. I think it's more likely the pocket and how I folded it. But I don't need much off. I need this right up against here because this part is fine. But I just need a little bit off of there. If I can pick this up, we'll get rid of it. Get my ink. Re-ink that and we're good. Okay, so because I don't like that there, I think it would look better that way because it doesn't match the pattern anyway. And even though a lot of it's going to be covered, nonetheless, I would, you know, I think I just prefer the bigger lump there and not sort of looking like a hiccup, you know, two big lumps right there like that. So let's go ahead and glue this down. So yeah, I started talking about how nice it was, and I went to the doctor today, and they took pictures of my eye. They took measurements. It's amazing what technology can do. It's like being in Star Trek, and it's just unbelievable. So what we're going to do here is there'll be a little bit of a, you know, rim around the pocket, which is good. I'm just trying to get it kind of lined up that way. And again, trying to be mindful of the pearls on the back. So just remember that little FYI. Don't put your decorations on until your tag is done front and back. But like I said, I wanted to see if I could do what I was hoping to do and then get everything cut and ready to do the other side. So, okay, so that's what we have there. All right. So now we get to start decorating, and I can actually, this will help a little bit, somewhat, but not a whole lot. I want this open so that I can see what I did. Okay, oh, I know what I didn't do. We have to line it like that. So what I did when I measured this, I measured it too long, okay? I want it to kind of come in a little bit, all right? This is probably a little bit longer. So I think you don't want it, this lines up pretty nicely with where I want it to be, but you don't want it in the fold, okay? So I'm gonna cut that away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it where I want it, find my pencil, I get an itch in my shoulder here, and find my pencil, which I did, and try to get this where I'm thinking I want it. And you don't want it, I'd rather have it a little closer to that side than this side because you don't want it hanging out from underneath, okay? So I'm trying to line it up. That way. Actually, it can hang out, or just barely. I'm going to mark the fold lines, which I should be able to see right here and right here because they line up with the edge of this paper. Okay, that is the fold. I'm going to fold it on those lines, on those two little dots, as best as I can, keeping this straight. Okay, let me go down just a wee bit. Now, let me say this because I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. This pocket, okay, like, where's the one I made? I don't know. This is a different one. Oh, this one. This pocket like this, just the tag with the two side pieces, I saw on G. Kerr's Happiness in Crafting. Okay. I decided not to cut the extra piece off or cut it down to size. I decided to keep this and make a pocket. I do believe that she did not do that. That was something that I had come up with. The other thing is I came up with this, with doing the flap in the middle. So she actually had a tag. I think she just left the back so that you could write on it, and then she had the 2 pockets with 2 more tags. So it was like 3 tags. My version of it, this whole thing is a tag because of this. And then so you have 2 of those. And then you have a tag in each pocket because I added the pocket. So there's 2 of those, that makes 4. And then you have the 2 tags in the hidden pockets, that makes 6. So this one, what initially looks like a tag with a pocket until you turn it over and see it's the same on the other side. This one piece is actually 6 tags. Okay, that's what it kind of comes out to be. So G. Kerr Happiness and Crafting gave me the initial inspiration for this. This little idea came from Yvonne Preston. And I saw her do this when she needed to cut something in half. All you do, and I know you can't see this. Well, maybe you can. My box is moving here. Because I've got things piled up. I don't know. Can you see that? Let me see. I put it up against the edge of this. I don't know if you can see. There's ever so little bit of a hair of the paper right here. I mean, I get as close to the edge as I possibly can, okay? And still see the paper. And then I just cut it down. Okay? That's how thin of a piece of paper I cut off. But when you do that, you get 2 perfectly evenly matched pieces of paper. And since these are slightly different sizes, just that wee bit, it comes out, one is just a little bit longer than the other, because that's how it goes in on the fold. So the shorter piece, wrong side, the shorter piece is going to go over here, and you may find that you might have to trim, but the shorter piece is going to go over here on this side, the longer piece on this side, and then you have your fold free. So now I need to ink this part where I just cut it. So let's get, well, not over the table. I'm inking out here. Try to be quick so it doesn't take too long. That's that one. And I am on this this whole piece as well using the ground espresso. I'm using that on here. On the lighter pieces, you can do things like vintage photo and stuff like that, but on something like this, you really can't see something that light. It really doesn't pick it up. It doesn't really pick up the ink. And I wanted you to be able to see the ink on the outside. So, all right, so the key is make sure you put it in the right direction. Okay. And you want to get it in near the fold, but not necessarily into it, which you can see, I think, that it's not. There's a little space. But you want to line it up or pull it in. You don't want it going outside of these, okay? So again, that's where this comes in handy. And if it's directional, which this is, pay attention to which way you're putting it on, which is why I just flipped it over. Whoop, went off the edge. So yeah, so they're going to work on my contact lens. It's going to probably, I'm hoping the insurance is going to pick up the cost, because technically this does not come under eye care, it comes under medical, at least according to my insurance, because this is a medical thing, this is a prosthetic thing. Though it will help cosmetically, so my eye doesn't look so wonky and weird, it's really, the purpose of it is to keep the light from coming into my eye. So what they will do, at least my understanding of it, and though I don't know the process of actually creating it, essentially what they will be doing is sort of painting my eye onto a contact lens. You know, you can get colored lenses to, you know, change the color of your eyes. If you have, you know, blue eyes and you want brown eyes, you can get these contact lenses and make your eyes look brown, or, you know, whatever. It's kind of the same premise. They take pictures of my eye, and then, of course, my right eye is useless to take a picture of to try to see what it looks like because I've got such a huge, gigantic pupil. Hence why I have trouble with the light, because my pupil will not close, you know, down like it's supposed to when I'm in the light. So I get all this extra light like a flashlight shining in my eye. So I wear that patch, or I close my eye. And I don't really want to do that for the rest of my life. So we're working on this. Okay, this might have been a little high, but that's okay. All right. So they took this picture, and he showed me the picture. My eyeball was like 6 inches. It was huge. And I saw the right eye, of course, which is mostly black. And then he showed me the left eye, and I was like, now, that is a nice looking eye. And he said, yes, it is, because I have hazel eyes. And so near my pupil, I have maybe about, I don't know, a third or so, maybe a little less, a quarter of my eye is brown near my pupil. And it's sort of like a sunburst. It comes out, you know, not like a round dot, you know, but it shoots out away from my pupil. So get some of this glue off my fingers again. And then the rest of my eye is a combination, mostly green and then blue, and I have flecks of like a golden yellow color throughout my eye. And honestly, it would have been easier if I had a brown eye, because it would have been easier to duplicate. But having to duplicate an eye with all those colors, or a lens with all those colors on it, is, I guess, a bit of an artist's work. So, okay, so there we have that. And we have that done. Okay, so we're that far. Let me check the time on this. Ooh, okay. Well, we're coming close to the end, I hope. All right, let me get this up here. Okay, what I did, let me just pull this stuff out while I'm talking. Trying to get all my little pieces out here. And I cut this out of a big chunk of lace. This is a different one that I showed you the other day. This is this one, this lace right here. And I cut the pieces out from here that I'm using on there. You can kind of, no, actually, well, you can see where I cut this piece. Honestly, when this goes into a pocket on a page, this is probably what I'm going to make the pocket out of. So, put that up there. I already took a piece of kind of a lightweight muslin, and I did some stamping on it, some script and some butterfly things, which is on the other side as well. So now it's just a question of where we want to put everything. Okay, we'll start at the bottom, because this was easy. Get this glue off. First, let me put this on. Okay, figure out which is the right side. That's the right side. And we'll go ahead and finish. Ooh, I went right in between. So yeah, so they're going to send this off to California with a gigantic picture of my eye. I assume they're going to try to, you know, make the right eye look pretty close to the left eye. Quite honestly, I don't know if the right eye looked exactly like the left eye before all this. So I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to leave just a little bit of a ridge not a ridge, but I don't want to put it right up against the end, and my fingers are full of glue. And since this is just a tad short, when I put it down, I stretch it out. Hold it there for a second or two. Okay. Try to get that a little more even. So that's just a little trick. If sometimes your lace doesn't quite line up where you want it to, you might have that little fudge room where if you just stretch it, it'll go. It was off by maybe this much. If you can see, maybe a little more than 1/8 of an inch. Not quite 1/4 of an inch, but I stretched it out and we're good. I wanted that on first before I put this on because I wanted to make sure that I didn't put it up so high that when I put the lace on it would cover it. So, pulling all kinds of stuff down. So yeah, so they're supposed to tell me tomorrow. They seem to have pretty standard prices for it, but I don't know. The more complicated the artwork, maybe the more it'll cost. I don't know, but we will just have to wait and see. But it really is a necessity. I do believe my insurance will cover that, as they would cover, you know, a prosthetic arm or leg or knee or something like that, as they cover all my husband's surgery with all his fake parts for his shoulders and his spine. I assume they will cover this as well. So yeah, we've certainly kept our insurance company busy, let me tell you. They joke with my husband because, you know, he made a joke and he said something about with all these fake parts, and he's like, I'm like the $6 million man. And the woman who generally works with our get this open again, who generally works with us with our insurance, says, now this is a little bit bigger than this one because this picture was a little bit bigger. Now I did the pictures, actually did them on a heavier cardstock on photo paper, a matte photo paper, but then this one had a little border around it. This one did not, so I put a little tea stain paper around it, and then I put it on what we lined the inside with. Okay, so I put it on that, so there's a little bit of a border there, so that's what I did there. It's okay that this hangs over a little bit, that's all right, though I don't want it to go too low here because of the because of the tag trying to go in and out of the pocket. So I will glue up to those points, and that would be it. So we'll put this on a little sideways, and I'm wondering maybe I can make it a little smaller, and if I do, I'm going to make it smaller from here. Where are those other scissors? I'll make it here. And I do like it torn if I can get it torn, which this one doesn't want to tear. Okay, only because I've yanked on this all afternoon. It frays these threads so that they're not completely straight. Here we go. All right, this one I'll just cut a little bit and then pull out some threads. I don't want to do it over here because I'll get it all over my stuff. So I'm just pulling some of these threads out. I'll trim what I don't want, and that will be fine. So I've got a few long ones here, so I'm just gonna trim those down. That's good. All right, I think I like that a little bit better. Yep. All right, I'm gluing it with this because you really are not going to see it. And quite honestly, when I first put it down, I was just going to do it in the center with this glue because I knew the picture was going to go over it. I got a little piece on the back there. But I realized after I started doing that it didn't really show. So I went back. Oh, I got a string still. Hang on. Get that one out of there if I can. There we go. So then I just went back and kind of tacked it all down all the way around. Okay. That's good. You just don't want to go over, you don't want to glue it to the above the flap, okay? You want to, I'm trying to pull the other thing with it. You want to keep it so that it's not glued down past that, you know, otherwise then it doesn't want to open. So we'll do that. We're going to put her in here relatively straight. I did her over to the right a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing here because I put bigger flower things on this side. So I have to use the Fabri-Tac because I don't have to, but I am putting it on top of fabric. Oh, the other thing I did too, before I put the gold backing on these pictures, is I took one of those buffer things that you use for your nails. I did the lightest one, and I just went around the edges a little bit and roughed it up a little bit, like here. You can see, and there's a little bit of scratches here, just to make it so that it didn't look so perfect. And I do want this basically, you don't see the butterflies much, but that's okay. I do want this basically centered top to bottom. Okay. I can take this, just again trying to decide what's the front, and I can put this, well, you don't see it because the pocket doesn't flip out, and I can put this down here where I did the other one, right here. Okay, just press that with my dry wipe and let that dry. Then we can take the flowers, excuse me, and put them where we want them. So I did all the fussy cutting on here. There's a few places, excuse me, my, where there's a little white, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. And I'm going to do just like I did here. I'm pretty much, they're different flowers, but I'm pretty much going to put them in the same places. So did I say, yes, I said the original pocket came from G. Kerr. Some of the paper were already mazes. I am so sorry. And we'll put this one here. Excuse me again. I just can't quite clear my throat today. All right. Then this one was going to go down here. Oh my goodness. I've got all the fuzzy sticking to me. From the, both from the white, excuse me. This one I'm actually going to do with this because it's on the lace. Both from the wipe and from the threads that I pulled out just now. All right. So we'll put this one here like so. All right. Okay, I'm trying to kind of hurry. I'm going to put this one back here on this side. First, let me put this one on, and then I'll decide, well, I could go back to this, where I want that other one. This was some tiny fussy cutting today, I'll tell you. Okay. Put that one there. All right. I just pulled this one off. So the question is, I think I had that one up higher, but I think I'm going to put this one, I still do want to do the diamonds, the pearls, but I think I'm going to put this one here. Yeah, I think I like it lower on this one. So let me just grab the end here with a little bit of a nail that I have. And I'm kind of amazed that I can still do this. It is slow. It always was slow because this stuff is so tiny. And getting in between all of these spots is kind of interesting. All right, so that's all 4 of those. Let me grab the pearls. Well, actually, let me put this on. And let me explain what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go back and get my crocodile so I can put the hole in for the other side. Okay. All right, there's my dog scratching. So he makes all these noises. So I'm just trying to line this up with the old hole there. The fun part's coming, because I discovered something today. At least I think I discovered something today. Maybe somebody else has thought of it. It's possible. I'm going to glue, actually, I need to snip this. Okay. I just want to snip where it's being held together. And then I'm going to glue it here, and I'm going to spread this apart just the tiniest little bit. Okay. And that's going to go up there. I am only going to glue the hearts. And actually, I think I'm going to not glue the very ends so it goes over this a little bit easier. No, I think I can. Oh, I know why it was. Because of the tag. And I'll explain that in a minute. So, oh, which side? That is the nicer side, I think. Okay. And let's get this on here. Still recording. Such a blessing. Okay. And then go here. Like so. And I think we're probably overglued. And then we're going to get this up here. We're going to put it up to the top. And get rid of the extra glue. First, just get it down, and then you can pull it if you need to make it wider, or, you know, wherever it needs to go, like so. Okay. We are almost there, guys. Almost there. All right. What I did do, I tried to put that in the garbage and it came right back. All right. I like to put a little glue. I know these little pearls have glue on the backs of them. Sometimes, though, I take them off and the glue stays behind. Let me just make sure I did a big one, next size, and next size. Okay, so we're going to start with the littlest one, and I use my craft knife to kind of help pull them off. And I will admit I had some problems. So we're going to put the little ones right here, the 2 shorter ends. I got to see if I can, I don't use these often, but I do like the little ones when I do use them. And okay, so that was the little ones. Then I'm going to go up a size. If I can get these off. I'd like to see if I can get just the tiny ones. Just the tiny ones. Okay, slide that off. And now I'm going to go up one more size. And that would be this one. And that one goes right here on the end there. Okay, I can get it off my finger. And now it's crooked. stuck in the middle. Okay. Then the other thing, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue here, and then a little bit of glue right here. And I did all small ones here. So let's do that. I know this is a little tedious, but I really want to get it all finished for you so you can see the whole piece done in this video. Okay. And oop, I think I just pulled one off. I don't. Yep, I see it. I'll go get it because it's upside down. All right, it is right here. There we go. So we'll put this one down here. Another one, and I got these from Amazon, these little flat back pearls. If anybody is wondering. Okay, and another one here. Just like so. And then up in this corner as well. It does not want to cooperate. There we go. I start in the corner first because then it makes it a little easier to kind of gauge where I want the other two to go if they cooperate with me. Okay, 1 and 2. So it may take, getting back to my, I'm going to move that in a little bit, I think. Getting back to my contact lens, it may take another 4 to 6 weeks to actually get it. And it's going to be interesting. I used to wear contact lenses when I was younger. Then I had LASIK surgery done, and I haven't worn, except for reading glasses, you know, over a period of time, I haven't worn any contact lenses. I've been okay until this fiasco. So all I'm doing here is I'm taking a little bit of my antique linen, and I'm just brushing over the flowers. It's okay because everything on these papers are kind of that color, so you're not going to see the ink. But it kind of helps take where I couldn't get the white out. It kind of tones it down a little. Okay? So that's all I did there. I'm going to go back and finish up these pearls. And again, I do apologize, but we are almost there. I need a big one in here. Right in here. Whoa, that was too much glue. I got a big glob out of that one. Okay. And I use the big one, the biggest one I have, size-wise, on the middle of this. So that goes there. And then I did small ones between the, I'm just going to do little dabs between the little circle hangy things, and then on the end. Okay, you certainly don't need a lot of glue. It's just something a little bit extra for me anyway. I've tried this with my tweezers. I just shoot them all over the place. So I just stick with my knife and then just press it down with my finger. I hope I didn't take it off. I did not. And I know that there's a lot going into this, and this may be more than what most people would want to do. Certainly for if you're just doing, you know, like you're doing a journal, you don't want to maybe necessarily do all of this. Again, let me remind you, I do have a problem with stopping. I always have another idea, and oh, you know what? I'm putting the wrong ones on. That's all right. We'll start from the other side. We'll go back and do the tiny guys. And we'll take these little fellas off. Look at how well they stick now. I would leave them, except they won't match the other side, so I'm just going to kind of pull them off. Put them to the side. I won't try to get them back on the plastic because I'm sure the glue is all gone. You know, their own adhesive. Get the last one off. There's still glue on here. I can feel it. All right. They were supposed to be the tiniest. Come back. They're supposed to be the tiniest guys. So, where is it? On my finger. Ugh. You're just going to stick to me, aren't you? It's sticking to me because I have glue on my fingers. All right, so we have that one. And then one there. One there. And you can see I'm putting them between those circles. I don't know how easily it's seen on the video or how, well, it might be seen, you know, pretty easily in pictures. Not sure. But just a few more of these. And then I will put the ribbon on and put all the tags in. Okay, I'm getting quiet. I must be concentrating. So I really am looking forward to getting the contact lens. So I did discuss it with the doctor today. I was like, you know, I never had a problem. I had no problem putting drops in my eyes. I can touch my eye with my finger. I never had a problem with anything like that. I said, but I can't see it now. I can't see it coming at my eye, my finger, or a contact lens. So that should be interesting. He says, it is. It will be a little bit of a learning curve. I said, this whole thing has been a learning curve. But, okay, so I do believe we have everything on. So let me show you what we're going to do with the ribbon. This is the ribbon I dyed the other day to try to get the color that I was much more pink. And I figured, well, that's okay because I'll use it somewhere. And I'm using it. So this was just brushed corduroy is all this one was. So I'm trying to get it unknotted because it's been all over the place today. And just for the sake of doing this, I know I don't need it, but I want to do bows. So I'm going to take about 20 inches. It's probably more than I need, but I'll cut off the extra. Not going to worry because I will use it someplace. Not a problem. So let's put this back over here. And what we're going to do, this is what I came up with. First, let me put the rest of the tags in so this is not as... put them in if I can find them. Okay, the first thing I want to tell you is I had these all the same size, and then I cut them, 2 of them down by about 1/4 of an inch. You can see here and here because they fit into the front pockets better. So one of these is going to go in here, and I want to be careful because, you know what, I'm not going to put those in yet. Hang on to those. I'm trying to decide. Maybe I should, for the sake of the cover, not the flap, not flapping. So this will go in here, and then this should fit over the top like so. And then you have to come out from inside the flap fella. And this one goes in here. Oh, these papers that the tags are made out of came from Shabby French Chic or something. All of those words are in the title. I just don't know in what order. And this too is G. Kerr's Happiness in Crafting. So that is her paper right there. Pulling up the bottom of the hearts here because it does give me a little bit of a problem. There we go. So it'll lay a little flatter. All right, and then we're just going to put these in the pockets. And you can put them in so that they face the same way, you know, this way, like this, or you can put it in so that in this pocket on the other side, when you pull it out from the right, it will face that way, which is what I'm doing. Okay, let's get to the ribbon. I cut two. This, like I said, this is 20 inches. It's probably going to be way longer than I need. And what I did was, like we would normally do, I took it and I put it through the hole. And this is why I didn't bother with an eyelet, because we're not going to need it. I pulled through one of the loops, you know, the loop. Let me find the other piece. What'd I do with it? Oh dear. Is this it? What did I do with it, guys? I know I cut two of them. Did I not? Oh, you know what? I know what I did. I was supposed to cut this. Okay. Actually, I think I'll cut it this way. Cut a little bit on a slant. Okay, we take one of these guys. Put it through. Make that little loop up there. Take the other one. Put that through the loop you just made. Okay. And pull it through like that so you have them interlinked. Then pull it so that where they both go, okay, where they both match more or less, just pull it into the middle carefully. Tie your bow. On one side and then flip it over and carefully, this one's a little folded, so I want to try to kind of flatten it out a little bit. That'll work, I think. And tie your bow on the other side like so. So now you have a bow on both sides of the tag, simply by looping that through. I thought that was just like wild. I thought that was an awesome thing. I'm just making the loops a little smaller because I don't think I want them that big. And I may cut this down, I don't know. And normally what I would do is I'll take a little bit of glue and I'll put it in on the knot so that it will stay more stable. But do I want, let me take a look at this. Do I want to cut this? I don't know. I think I kind of like it long. I'm not sure now what I want to do. But anyway, so let's take this, and like I said, I know this is long. Well, it's really long. But we are going to let go of that. Show you how this whole thing works now. Now that we've done front and back, we have this piece, okay, with the ribbon, and then this comes out, this one opens, take this out here, come on you, and the tag can go back in, and that goes down there, and then you have a tag in, I can get it out here, okay, and that goes in there. You flip it over, we have the tag, the flip, and then the tag on this side in there. So that is it, guys. That is the whole piece, and your double bow, which I think is an awesome idea. And so we're done, because this has been really long. So I apologize for the length. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay happy, be blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Sorry about that. Hit the camera. Bye-bye for now, everyone.